This presentation is going to cover all aspects of completing your personal statement for when you apply to university. At the time of starting your personal statement, you hopefully have researched course options, including module content, and also chosen which universities offer the right course for you. You may also have visited a few universities on their open days. Prospectuses are an obvious place to start your research. However, they often are limited in detail, so exploring course fact sheets online is a really in-depth way to research your course. Often, they detail the content of the modules. Beware, as the content for a lot of courses are different at each university. Speak to university staff if they are attending any HE fairs or UCAS fairs that you are attending. Lots of universities offer virtual sessions. Book onto these. You can book onto them several times at different universities, so look out for those. And attend open days. This is really important that you actually visit universities before you apply or before you actually enroll there. Here is the timeline for your UCAS application. We'll cover deadlines in the next slide. For most courses, the deadline is the 14th of January 2026. If you're applying for medicine, veterinary or dentistry, or you're applying for Oxford and Cambridge universities, then the deadline is much sooner. It's the 15th of October this year. The cost to apply to university currently stands at £28.95, and that's for up to 5 choices for September 26 entry. You may want to check with your sixth form or college what their internal deadline is. This is often any time from October half term up to the end of December. You may feel that the internal deadline is too early, but your tutors need to write a reference for each student. The application form is reasonably straightforward. Similar to any application form, it includes your personal details, your education history, work experience, and so on. The part of the application that needs some time spending on it are the 3 personal statement questions, which we will cover later in the presentation. You don't need to complete your application in one sitting. It saves as you go, so you can dip in and out of it. The screen above shows how it saves your details. It's really easy to see what sections you haven't completed and the sections that you need to add more. Your personal statement is separated into 3 questions. Each section will have a minimum character count of 350 characters. It can be no more than 4,000 characters over those 3 questions, and that includes spaces and punctuation. It's roughly the length of an A4 piece of paper. The purpose of the questions will enable you to talk about why you are interested in the course you are applying to, linking your academic and extracurricular experience to your chosen course. The personal statement is an opportunity for students to show admissions staff evidence that you are passionate, curious, and knowledgeable about the subject area you are looking to study further, and to have the relevant skills and potential to be a great student who has a genuine interest in the subject and desire to learn more. Here are the 3 questions. I will talk more about the details of these in the next few slides. You may feel an example may fit into more than one section. There is no right or wrong section to include something in. The important thing is to explain why you are including it and what you have learned from it. Why do you want to study this course or subject? Tell us about your motivations for studying this course. It may be that you have been inspired by a role model, or it could be a subject that you have loved studying and want to pursue further. And how has your path led you to this course or subject area? Tell us about your knowledge of this subject area. Is there a particular subject area you've researched or can't wait to learn more about? What about a book or a subject expert who is doing great things that have spared your interest? Do you have a profession in mind? It may be that you have to follow this subject to pursue your career. How might the knowledge gained from this course help you in the future? The key is to research the course to find out what might be most relevant. Question 2. How have your qualifications and studies helped you to prepare for this course or subject? There is a chance for you to show evidence of the relevant or transferable skills you have gained from your formal education and highlight your understanding of how this will help you succeed in this subject area. To break this down, we're going to split it up into 3. So how your studies or training relate to chosen course or subject area. This could be current or previous studies within a school, college or training provider, or even a short online university course, any formal education. The main thing here is to focus on what is most recent and relevant to your chosen course. Second point, what relevant or transferable skills have you got that makes you a great candidate? Perhaps there have been a couple of subjects that have helped you develop a core set of skills, or a particular module that have reinforced where your interests and strengths lie. Point 3. Have you any relevant educational achievements? Don't waste characters including your grades, as these are elsewhere in your application. Think more about any accomplishments like winning a school or national competition. Have you been a school prefect or a student ambassador? Here are some examples for this section. Talk about specific modules or topics. Maybe you're doing an extended project qualification or an EPQ. Maybe you've had some private lessons or qualifications in music, playing an instrument or stage school, or sports courses if they're relevant to your course. Or perhaps you've done some online courses. Question 3. What else have you done to prepare outside of education, and why are these experiences useful? This is your chance to talk about any other activities that you have undertaken outside of formal education. You may have personal experiences which further demonstrate your suitability for the course. This section is likely to be highly personal to you, and anything that you include here, you need to reflect on why you're including it. Here are some examples. Any extracurricular activities, volunteering work, maybe you've had a personal life experience caring for a family member or overcoming a challenge that may be relevant. You may have done some work experience or worked part-time. You may have shadowed somebody in a particular profession or done some online learning activities like a MOOC or a SpringPod. It could be that you visited some museums or exhibitions or galleries that are relevant to the course subject, or you may have been involved with the Duke of Edinburgh or Duke of York Awards. Here's a few things to be aware of. Universities want to see new information included in the 3 questions. Don't waste characters detailing which college you attended or which A-levels you were studying, as we already know this information from other sections of your application. Don't repeat information across each of the questions. The amount written for each question can vary. You can put more in one section and less in another, but just remember the character count. And don't forget to check your spelling and grammar. No formatting is needed. Your application, your personal statement is the same for all your choices. Your personal statement and your 3 questions are really important. Universities have far more applications than they have places. Admissions tutors read through hundreds and hundreds of applications. Yours needs to stand out more than the next student. Not sure if I need to mention this, but be aware of plagiarism. Universities and UCAS have software that can pick out any copied information. Here is the advice from UCAS regarding using AI and ChatGPT. Although using AI and ChatGPT to write your personal statement will be considered cheating, there are ways you could use AI to help you make a start, structure, and then check your final work. It is important to remember that while ChatGPT can generate text, it's not a substitute for your own thoughts and experiences. It's called a personal statement for a reason, and universities want to hear from you, not an AI bot. You could use ChatGPT as a tool to help inspire, clarify, and articulate your own ideas, rather than asking it to write your entire personal statement for you. Here are a few examples from previous statements. They may make you smile. Remember about spelling and grammar. Are you accurate? Here's a few examples. I am a careful person who takes great pride in my work. That's grating cheese, not having a great pride. I also have a strong grip of the English language. Again, just check that spelling and grammar. Don't be the smart aleck. I did work at Morrison's, but resigned due to the fact that some of the management staff were, in my opinion, unsuited for management roles. This may be correct, but it's not what you want to write in your personal statement. Think about the relevance to the course. I would like to study geography because I think I have a lot of gardening experience. Is that going to help your application? Possibly not. Do you fit in well? My life is just one long birthday party. That's absolutely fantastic, but you need some commitment to the academic side of your studies. A well-written application may convince the admissions tutors that you are worth an offer or at least an interview. Let's get started. Here are some tips from our admissions team. Think about gathering evidence, gathering ideas of what to include in your personal statement. Think about, you might want to do mind mapping, you might just want to jot some ideas down. Think about skills that you've developed or experiences that you have. Some subject areas do require work experience. Make sure you have relevant work experience for these areas. Think about how you can evidence how you've developed these skills. It could be communication skills are important. Tell us how these skills have been developed. And rank your ideas and your evidence by relevance to the course that you are applying for. Remember, the more research that you do, the easier it will be to answer those 3 questions. At this stage, it's just about getting those ideas down. But be wary of humour. The admissions tutors may not share your style. It isn't always just about the academia side of your application. Think about transferable skills, determination to complete things, your commitment to anything, your teamwork, communication. Can you work within a team? Think of examples that you've actually developed at college while you've been studying. Here are a few top tips for standing out. Demonstrate wider reading or research around your chosen subject. Research credible sources, for example, not watching Casualty, but looking at maybe some papers that you read regarding midwifery, for example. Undertake supercurricular activity that enhances your subject knowledge. These could be podcasts, journals, webinars, or TED Talks. If you can't gain experience in your chosen career setting, try to gain experience that demonstrates relevant transferable skills like teamworking and communication skills, and partake in extracurricular activities such as the Duke of Edinburgh Award, taking on positions of responsibility in school, and joining sports clubs that can all help demonstrate transferable skills. Consider volunteering. Volunteering always is seen as a gold star. Conveying your ideas. Here are a few examples. I have excellent communication skills and work well as part of a team. We would want you to write it is, in my job I always communicate effectively with my colleagues to ensure that we work successfully as part of a team. Skills which will benefit me as a student nurse. I have researched the role of a midwife and think I will fit in well as I am a caring person and enjoy talking to new people. The NMC values required for a midwife fit my natural caring personality. My enjoyment of talking to new people supports my aim to provide inclusive care to women and their families regardless of their background. You can see here that we're incorporating those values of the Nursing Midwifery Council. Here's another paragraph that enhances the point of saying that I enjoy running. It incorporates other transferable skills, so make sure you put some more effort into those sentences. Utilise your friends, family and tutors to go through your personal statement answers. Does it show your motivation for your subject area? Read it out loud. Often this highlights any errors that you may have made. UCAS have lots of helpful resources, little video clips, outlines of things to include in each of those questions. So please do check out the UCAS webpage. So go away and familiarise yourself with the UCAS webpage. Watch videos, read their blogs and research the courses and universities that you're interested in. Open days are really, really important for you to visit universities. You can look at the subject details, the facilities, accommodation if that's of interest to you. Please do go and visit their open days and start brainstorming any ideas for your personal statement. Good luck with your personal statement and your applications, and one day you could be graduating. Thank you for listening.